Hey guys, y'all get back. Let's get back in and get to our seats so we can get started and get some stuff done before lunch. All right, everyone, we're going to get started. Next couple of minutes, we got the live stream going now. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and get to our seats. And so we're going to start our officials committee report now. And I am going to give some time back because the officials committee was done in executive session. And so everything that you all just heard, that was your officials committee report as well. And so, so we're going to move on to Miss Becky Green. Are you ready? You're probably not prepared because you didn't know you're going to be called on that quickly. Did you know? All right. Becky knew. Becky's great. Becky actually was a helper at our caucus meeting, and she basically ran everything. So I didn't have to do any work. So thank you, Becky, for all that you do. Candidate Resource Committee.
I get texts from Secretary Virgil Cruz. He said, "You're up next, get ready." So I cheated. Okay, well, on a lighter note, we're going to talk about Candidate Resource Committee, and I have a brand new committee, and I want my committee members to stand up when I read your name. Vice Chair is Mary Jane Avery. We have Kristen Bentley, Walter West, Elaine Cook, Ann Gebhardt, Susan Valiant, Roman Klein, Tony Trevino, Kiko Canseco, Bruce Bishop, Adolfo Tejas. Those are our SREC members. We also added Jane Cancino, and we have 6 non-SREC members. We have Virgil Cruz, who's our secretary. We have Susan Wright, Harold Jenkins, Jill Tate, Steve Atwell, and Carrie Cheshire, excuse me. Okay, so that's our committee. We're going to be working hard, guys. You guys all of you SREC members and officers got an email from me about 3 or 4 days ago. I had in the memo, save this email. Save that email. Save it, because we're about to get real busy, and I can't field phone calls, and Virgil can't field phone calls. Could you send that to me again? I can't find it. I think I deleted it. Ask your counterpart for it, but you need it. It's got a video in it. Watch the video. I can tell who's watched the video and who hadn't by the questions I get asked. Watch the video. It's only 10 minutes. You can do it at your leisure, but it answers 90% of what you need to know about Candidate Resource Committee. It'll answer your questions. That's why I did it.
Pardon me, Madam Chairman. Could that possibly link also be put in the exclusive content or?
To the video?
Yeah.
Yes. The slide, I think the slides are in there. Jen told me the PowerPoint slides. Okay. I will talk to Jen about putting the video
Not
in there.
exclusive content if it's not.
Yeah. I'll ask where she wants it. We can put it in there. Yes. Okay, so watch the video. I'm not going to cover that again. There's also a QR code for you to print out to take with you for CRC contributions in there. You'll need that. There are talking points in there. You are going to get asked to come speak to clubs and groups and executive committees, and your first reaction is, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? Talk about CRC. CRC is our committee. It's the SREC's committee. We fund down ballot Republicans who have an opponent in the general election. We don't have a George Soros. It's up to us, y'all. Okay, so I want to thank those of you that have raised money because a lot of you have been very, very busy. And we've gotten some big checks. And we did well at convention. And I want to thank you, those of you who've actually been raising money for CRC all along. As you know, it is every SREC's job to raise $1,000 per person per year for CRC. If we do that, we will have $128,000 to give away to our down ballot Republicans every election cycle. Yeah, that's just us. That doesn't count all these other generous donors that donate. That's just us going around raising money as we go about our business as SREC members. Now, when you do that, you raise that, you get a key pin, all right? I'm not giving out key pins this time. But next time I come in the fourth quarter meeting, I want to be able to stand up here and take up way too much time giving a key pin to every single SREC member that's here, all 62 of you, because this is crunch time. Now hear me about this. This is our Super Bowl. Between now and the election, we have got to raise money. I got our account balance as of the end of the second quarter. This doesn't count what we raised in July. Money is rolling in. We had $70,244 in the bank. That's what we had. Some of it was left over from last term, and we're getting more in every day. But that's not enough money. That is not enough money. So I need you guys to go home, and between now and September the 14th, which is our first funding meeting, the committee's going to meet, and we are going to give out whatever we've got to the candidates. When we run out of money, we run out of money. I want you guys to go home, and I want everybody in the next 6 weeks between now and September 14th, put that on your calendars, I want you to go out and raise another $1,000 per person. It's not hard. It's not hard. We do the work for you. We give you the talking points. You're going to be asked to get up and speak. If you're at a meeting, get up and talk about this. Every person here needs to take home a handful of CRC envelopes, and my committee members are going to pass those out to y'all right now. I've got people all over the room. Everybody leaves here with a handful of those envelopes, okay? If you run out of envelopes, there's a form that I attached to the Save This email, okay? You can print that out, and you can use that. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Use them. I keep CRC envelopes in my car just like I keep voter registration materials in my car. Okay? I keep both those in my car, so I've got them when I need them. So I'm really serious about this. I want to give every one of you a key pin next time. Kristen Bentley from SD1 told me a while ago that her SD is going to raise more money than all the other SDs. I think that sounds like a challenge. Also, officers, you are not exempt. Madam Vice Chair, I would like to see you and the chairman get in a little friendly competition about which of you can raise more money. And yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, guys. So that's the plan. Okay, if anybody has envelopes today, Deborah, turn in your envelopes. If you collect money and all along, like Deborah does, and you've always got envelopes to turn in, don't forget to turn them in. You turn your envelopes into the staff out front. Don't give it to me. Don't lay it on Virgil's desk. Turn it in out there, okay? I want us to raise $200,000 this election cycle. We're at $70,000 now at the end of June. We got a ways to go, but y'all can bring back between now and September 14th, $128,000, and we'll be there. We will be at $200,000 if everybody in here raises $1,000 between now and then. So go do it. Roman Klein will tell you that y'all, all he has to do is walk up there, read the talking points, and hold his hand out. People come lay money in his hand. He always out collects me. I don't even know what that's about. But if you have a problem raising money, don't know what to do, go talk to Roman. He's got it down. Okay. Let's see. Remember, there is a spreadsheet in your digital packet. You all need to be checking the spreadsheet. Okay? I'm probably going to send out another email explaining the spreadsheet because I'm kind of getting this day's look when I talk about the spreadsheet. We have a master spreadsheet that we share with you. It's confidential, but you need to know what you're turning in, those paper donations, and you need to compare it to the spreadsheet to make sure that your donations are getting accredited to you for your keep in and your money's being turned in and put in the CRC account. So that's your job, to check the spreadsheet to make sure your donations are on there. There's a little lag time after you turn in the money of a few weeks to get that on the spreadsheet. Check the spreadsheet. It's in your digital packet. Applications for candidates. That application is about to go live. James Wasolik and Virgil Cruz and I spent 3 hours on the phone this last week getting that ready. The committee has approved it. We are just less than a week away from making it live. When it goes live, I will send out an email to all the county chairs and all the SREC. Help me, folks, get that application to eligible candidates. You're not going to be given the link to the application, but your job is to tell eligible candidates to apply. If you're like SD 28 and you got 41 counties, you might not know who all in your 41 counties is eligible. Work with your county chairs. We got to make it known to Republican nominees that have a Democrat or an independent running against them in the general election. We got to let them know to apply. So look for that email that the application link has gone live to notify the candidates. Okay. Hopefully we'll have other funding meetings after September the 14th. And I also want to tell you that our very generous Steve Munisteri is going to come up here and we're going to auction off a special item that only he has. And this is an opportunity for you guys to kickstart that giving. And Mr. Evans is going to be our auctioneer, and I'm going to let Mr. Munisteri explain this item to you because I know you're going to want it after he tells you what it is. I don't know.
Good morning. So in 2016, I was part of the Trump National Convention team, and they called and asked me to reprise that role for the 6 weeks for the convention. And if you were there, how many of y'all were delegates? Do you remember seeing the yellow hats and the green hats and the orange hats? So the significance of those were your yellow hats were your state whip team. Where's Tisha Crow? There she is. This was one of our yellow hats who did a great job. You did. And Bo, our county chairman in Tarrant County, Jessica Colombo, those were your state workers. There was a team of us that were the regional floor whip. So I won't say I'm the only person in the country that had one of these, but the only one in Texas. I was the regional director for the Trump campaign at the convention. And I know that they auction off some knickknacks here every now and then. I said, you know, if y'all want a knickknack, this is the official, and actually was used, which, by the way, you might want to wash it if you buy it. This is the official Trump campaign regional whip hat. So it says on the front 47, which of course is our upcoming president, and then MKE Milwaukee 24, and then it's got 45, 47. So if somebody wants to have this as a souvenir of the regional whip hats from the Milwaukee convention on behalf of President Trump, it's now the RPTs.
Thank you. So did Donald Trump wear this? All right, we're going to sell the hat. So a hat that Donald
And
Trump
you'll be the
wore.
only one in Texas with a hat like this, right? Only one in the state of Texas with a hat like this, and you can wear it around and someone will say, someone who is really important will know what that hat means, and you'll be like, wait a minute. They'll come and talk to you or something. So you should get the hat. It's at least worth $1,000. We started the bid here at 300.
You in for 300? Bid's 300. 300. Do I have 400? 300. Do I have 400? 400. 400. Now 5. 400. Now 5. 500 in the back. Do I have 6? 600. Do I have 700? 700. 700 over here. Do I have 8? 700 now 8. 700 now 8. Do I have $800? $800 now 9. Don't let him outbid you. He's new. $800 now. I got $900 here. 900 now 1,000. 1,000 to you. $1,000. Do I have 1,100? $1,000 now. You're done? Okay. 1,000. Do I have 1,100? I got $1,000. Do I have 1,100?
So
Do I have 1,100? $1,100 now 1,200.
One other thing, if
You're
you
gonna let
wear
it-
this hat at a Trump event, they will certainly recognize, and Trump might even recognize it too.
You might get it signed. We got it on 1,100. Do I have 1,200? I got $1,100. Do I have 1,200? $1,200. $1,200. 1,100 going once. Anyone in for 1,200? 1,100 going twice. Sold it, sir. $1,100. Yeah, go in the back with Steve Monasteri. Galen wants to get a picture with your hat.
Wow, that's great, man. That's a so former Chairman Ministeri, Steve, thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. Thank you. All right, I'm going to call Robin Cooper for party organization. Robin has a great name. She spells it wrong, but it's a good name.
Yes, my mom liked to correct people, so that's why she spelled it with a Y. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you very much for our step-in chair and our vice chair today. And also, if I could please ask my amazing, wonderful committee to please stand also. We are an action committee, and we will be getting a lot done. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Give these people a hand. And if you are a SREC member who is also a county chair of our committee, and we would love for you to join us at some point and participate. And then also wanted to remind that any of your SRECs, any of your county chairs we would love for you to invite them to the SREC members. They are also welcome to the organization committee. And so we do a lot of work on behalf of our county chairs and our precinct chairs. And so I just want to let you reach out to them and invite them. If we decide, our one meeting a year, wherever we should go, that if you live in that area, invite your county chairs to come see us. I just want to give you a little recap of 2022, 2024, some of the things that we had put into action and that we will be continuing, and a little hiccup that we've had. So what we implemented last term, we included and started a texting program. As you know, your county chairs receive an email, an invitation to attend a training once a month, the last Monday of the month on a Monday. And what we implemented was to start texting them to give them a little bit of a reminder, because, monthly meetings are sometimes hard to remember sometimes. So that texting program, unfortunately, was canceled, for a better word, and we are looking to implement a new texting program that we would be using to do that. So in addition, we have everybody's text messages or phone numbers. We have, if you know, we have 60 new county chairs, and if you do have some of those new county chairs, we are in need of those emails and telephone numbers from those county chairs, and the staff here is reaching out to receive those. The next step with that, I'm asking that each and every one of you, whether you have one county chair or 41 county chairs in your districts, is that you also reach out and encourage your county chairs to please chime in and do those trainings. Because what happens, one of the things that we try to do in the organization committee is to help our staff here at the RPT, and that is to help them not have to field so many calls on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday after the training, because they didn't read their email, or attend the trainings. So if you could help us with that a little bit, that would be fantastic, because it's fantastic information that we want to make sure that they get. A couple things, if you don't know, if you would maybe, the staff will be sending out in the next few weeks, once we have all those phone numbers, we'll be sending you a list of all of your county chairs, their email addresses and phone numbers, once everything has been updated. So if you would please keep that in a Google Sheets or an Excel spreadsheet, something where you can easily cut and paste and communicate with your county chairs, that would be a recommendation that we would like to give you. All right, a couple new things that we're working on, or follow up from last. We worked on the precinct chair handbook and got that all updated. The county chair handbook, got that all updated. And if you all didn't know, there was an SREC handbook that was done in 2008 that we also revived and updated. And so because of our state convention, we have a couple rules that have been updated since. So we have not distributed that. We will be updating that in the next couple weeks, and we will definitely get that updated. We will be having a Zoom meeting, which you all are welcome to join us. And when we do those final updates, we will do the updates, and then it will be passed back to the office, Ms. Jen, our director, and then also Ms. Rachel Hooper. She could carve out a slight bit of time to approve that, make sure we haven't made any major mistake. That out by the end of August, beginning of September, to get to all of our precinct chairs for handbooks, so that you can hand those out so people can have some guidelines going into this election season, make sure they're covering all of their responsibilities. We are working on a new thing. We are working on an incentive program to get these county chairs to participate and to log in and do these training programs. So we're working on a STAR program, something that we can do that will be visual incentive to get our county chairs activated. So it is going to require some tracking, which, as you know, takes a little bit of labor to make that happen. So one of the other things that we're working on in hopes of making this. So if you have an expertise in this, please reach out. What we want to do is to figure out a way to, when they log into our monthly meetings, that they are, we mark them in as attending, and then if they also open up and log in to the training after the fact in that next week, that they also get marked as attending the training. And so it does take a little bit. There's passwords involved and that sort of thing. So so we do want to try to do something so we can figure out who's getting those trainings, and so that you and I can make sure we're following up with our county chairs. We had a gentleman come in and give us a talk, and you may have talked to him yourself, with Excel Mate. Is a free data tool for our grassroots. I'm mentioning this to you because, like in El Paso County, we're extremely blue. However, we have small communities on the outskirts of El Paso, so if this rings true for you, that require very few number of votes, 100 votes. You know, community members vote for 100 people to vote for an alderman position, right? And so with this data tool, we think that we can focus in on, get the vote out, and turn those small communities on the outskirts of El Paso so that we can go from the outskirts to move in. I very much believe in small wins. If we can prove to our blue El Paso that our outskirts are red, I believe that that will trickle inward into the inner cities. And so that's one of the things we're going to be focusing on. This program is offered to you for free also. If you are interested, well, even if you're not interested, we're going to get you the information so that you have it, so that you can look into it and put it into action for yourself, okay? So I will be working with Jen. We're going to be sending you an email for a couple other, several other things so that you can tap in. And the final thing that we worked on that we find extremely important is the voter registration kits. As you know, if you follow Scott Pressler up in Pennsylvania, he has registered 15,000 Republicans in a particular Burke County. Forgive me, I don't know, remember. So it has gotten 15,000 new registered voters in that community, and is giving the Republicans an opportunity for the first time in decades, the ability to, or ever, to win their race in that area. And so we truly believe that voter registrations are extremely important. The other thing to keep in mind is that within 10 days after the presidential election for Biden, as you may know, he changed the rules on voter registration. Voter registration can now happen at all government agencies. If they get a handout, they also get a voter registration card, okay? And they are out registering us to the extreme level. And so we have a very difficult time combating that, even with our channels that we have. One of the stats that came out at the National Convention, and some of you, you're welcome to correct me as far as any specifics, but the things that shocked me the most were that the number of Trump rally attendees that are not registered to vote is shocking and or have never voted. 2, gun owners who are proud gun owners, however, are not registered to vote and or don't vote. And then, of course, we know this one, are Christians who are not registered to vote, and if they are, they do not get to the polls. And so those are our key areas. So something that came up in our conversation, we want to provide and give you to be able to spread to our county chairs kits, or the ability to build kits very easily that you can distribute. So this is a kit that Karen Marshall, she uses, and it has everything that you need in here. We have a checklist that we will be providing you that you can easily create and provide your own. She signs these out, gives them to her local people. They bring them back so they don't have to purchase it all themselves. And so we're going to provide you with a kit, a checklist, and the ability to get these items fairly easily for yourself. And so, you know, again, this is all action, and in this organization committee, I know that Chairman George has the idea of a PC university or a Texas GOP university that we will be implementing. However, we do not have that information. So right now, we're hitting the ground running with this committee. We have hardworking people. We want to make sure that you have access and the ability to make a change in this election. And that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. Mr. David Wiley is going to present to us the Partnership and Coalitions Committee report. Mr. Wiley?
Thank you very much, sir. I am David Wiley, Senate District 12. I'm going to be heading up the Partnerships Coalition Committee this time around, and we've had a great history. Appreciate the previous group that took good care of the committee, and our current committee is made up of Galen Devine as vice chair, Susan Lucas, Melissa Nur, Randy Perham, Elaine Cook, Dale Gibble, Royce Albrecht, and Chuck Burnett. They are our new committee, and what we're going to do is we're going to reaffirm that all of our previous partners in coalitions want to continue to benefit from an affiliation with the party. We're going to ask each of them what they perceive that benefit to be, what they perceive the benefit for us to working with them, and what their plans are for the future. We'll bring you this list at the next quarterly meeting and ask for you to accept them if they have a desire to reaffirm as partners or coalitions of the party. And that's pretty much our job. There may be little pieces added in the upcoming little rules discussion we're going to have later, I don't know. But one of the things that we do focus on is that our partners have the ability to grow the party and themselves. And to this end, one of our greatest success stories from last term was our association with the Young Republicans of Texas, who stepped up at a time when the Young Republicans in general were going through some sort of, I don't know, malaise, I don't know. And, but this organization has gone through some great growth. And I wanted to bring Lily Mice forward here today from the Young Republicans of Texas to talk to us about that growth for just a minute, and then we'll wrap it up.
Thanks so much, David. Hi, everyone. My name is Lillian Meese. I am the chapter president for San Antonio of the Young Republicans of Texas. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you all for letting me speak to you today. The last time I came to present our first quarter report to you all. We were a fresh organization as the Young Republicans of Texas, and we were a fresh partner as your official youth auxiliary. I presented to you then that we had formed 10 clubs, and I am so thankful for your support and all the work that our members have done, because now I can tell you we have 25 clubs. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. And we are so grateful for all of you locally helping us establish new relationships and strengthen our relationships with the local counties and develop those clubs. I am also excited to tell you that the strength of those clubs has grown since I presented to you last time. My club has doubled in size, and I know a lot of our clubs locally where you all are have also strengthened. I want to invite you to continue to support us. We are applying to renew our partnership status with you all. And locally, we are still working on growth. So we have another 10, 15 chapters in development where we have connections, groups, charters, or constitutions formed, but working on chartering them officially as new clubs. And so we ask you to continue to support us with those relationships, your local GOPs. You can contact us. We have a website, yrtx.gop is our website, and you can email us any of your contact leads at info, what is our email? info@yrtx.gop. yrtx.gop. Mhm. So the at part is yrtx.gop. But thank you so much, and thank you for your partnership. Thank you.
And they say to go out on top. That concludes the report of the Partnerships Committee. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, David. Appreciate that. And thank you for your activity in the YRs here. I want to call up Scott Bowen. He's going to present the Resolutions Committee report. I think he's got like 1 or 2 resolutions, maybe 9, maybe 9.
Thank you, Dr. Armstrong.
Before we start, so sorry. We love resolutions. We're all about resolutions. By the way, I'm Karen Marshall, SD's 26. But we have an election in November. So just in case any of these are less urgent than others, so that we don't look like we've gotten off track as a party, perhaps we could, if some of them aren't urgent, we could postpone a few of them until the next meeting. Like, not that they're any less important, but just so that it doesn't look to our constituents and the people who elected us like, well, they're already jumping to legislation or this or that, when really first and foremost, we need to get our good Republicans elected in less than 95 days. So just before, as we consider these, I thought we might keep that in mind.
So we give the report. Is that a motion? Parliamentarian? Where's the parliamentarian? So, no. Okay.
No,
Okay.
it just, if anybody else wants to make a motion about any of them that they think aren't as urgently needed right now as possible, it's an idea. I don't know if an idea is a parliamentary procedure, but.
Thank you. So anyway, so my name is Scott Bowen. It's a privilege to serve again as a Resolutions Committee Chair. And right now, I and my report, I'm also the only thing standing in between you and lunch. So, the quicker we get through these and master our clickers, the better this will go. But I do appreciate all of the work that the committee members put into preparing an excellent Resolutions Committee report. And excellent resolutions for you to vote on. This is how we speak as a Republican Party of Texas, is through the opinions that we vote on in our resolutions. So I'll name the committee members really fast just so they can be thanked. Vice Chair Dale Inman, thank you. Andrew Eller, Ralph Feit, Susan Fountain, Paul Hale, Rachel Horton, Jim Pickle, Chuck Burnett, Gwen Withrow, and Susan Lucas. Thank you all for your work on the committee. Of course, Virgil Cruz, who served as secretary for the committee. And as most of y'all probably know, we typically spend a lot of time after the committee meetings, a lot of time going through these resolutions and making sure they are presented well, the grammar is good. And thank you also to Karen Marshall, who helped us with that as well. And so that's a big job too, and I appreciate it. For those of you who want to pass resolutions, or there are issues that you or your constituents really care about, anyone can submit a resolution to the Resolutions Committee. It doesn't have to be an SREC member. Any human being can do it. Just email me the resolution. We're hopefully about to adopt a standing rule. It requires that they be submitted by 11:59 p.m. on Tuesdays before the SREC meetings. That'll be in the standing rules that we do last. And include the word resolution in your subject line, just to make sure I find it. If possible, send it as a Word document so that we don't have to copy it over and do a bunch of formatting. If your county sends you a resolution that is a JPEG, it's a picture of a resolution, tell them to do it again. Or I'll talk to them. Help your county chairs open PDFs. It'll be great. But anyway, so I think with that, we'll go ahead and move into moving the items on the resolutions committee report. And as usual, we just go one by one through these. So I'll make the motion for the resolution, and then Dr. Armstrong will chair debate. Debate is not necessary on every resolution. Yeah, but we do have to take a recorded vote using the clickers on every single one. So with that, I will go ahead and start by moving adoption of the resolution proclaiming that life wins elections.
I'd like to offer an amendment.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to offer an amendment.
All righty. So it's moved that the SREC adopt a resolution proclaiming that life wins elections. Debate. Yes, sir.
I'd like to offer an amendment.
Okay.
Rolando Garcia, SD 15. Can you move up to one of the whereases? Keep moving up. It's the two right to the right to win section. Yes.
So I'm going to assume that y'all are familiar with these already. You've read them. You've got them in a packet and everything. Okay, good. Fantastic.
I would like to remove the words self-styled self-styled Republican.
All right. Any second? Okay. And so, like to discuss?
Yes. For those of you who don't know, Right to Win is a group of pro-choice Republicans, mostly precinct chairs, convention delegates. Most of them are in SD 15. Some of them are in SD 17 as well. Calling them self-styled Republicans is a kind of a subtle questioning of whether they are Republicans. Now, I will tell you two important things about this group. Many of them are very hardworking precinct chairs and activists who are even now working to help elect Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and our whole ticket in Harris County. Now, the other thing is they also oppose one of the foundational principles of our party, which is pro-life. Now, the question of whether you can be a Republican and still oppose one of our foundational principles, that's an interesting philosophical discussion. But it's not a discussion we should be having 90 days before an election. So I think we need to say we oppose Right to Win and we oppose what they're trying to do to our platform without raising the whole discussion of whether they're really Republicans or not. So this wording doesn't really add anything to the resolution, which is a strong pro-life resolution, which I helped draft, by the way. And I don't think it adds anything, and it just creates the potential for problems.
Okay,
So I would like to remove it.
All right, thank you. Anyone to speak against the resolution?
Yeah, I help.
So that's 1 for, 1 against.
Yes.
The amendment.
For
sorry,
the amendment.
The amendment.
Yeah,
I
Deborah Fight,
apologize.
SD7, and Rolando and I worked on this together along with Virgil Cruz. And if we want to soften it, but we're not really talking about individuals here. We're talking about the organization. And the organization has a petition that is requiring and requesting that the RPT remove any mention of life or abortion from our platform. And when you look at this petition, it is on the website of Obama's, if you remember, change.org, remember Hope and Change. Well, they're working from a far left Democrat website. So that might raise a question to just how Republican this group is. I mean, I don't have a problem in softening it, but I just think we need to stand up. I mean, if we were at the convention and we noticed those white ribbons, silk ribbons that say right to life, and the petitions they were putting out at the state convention, I just don't think that's Republican.
So that is one spoken against the amendment to the resolution. Any other speaking for the amendment to the resolution? All righty. Can I assume that we're ending debate now? All right. So we're going to take a vote. And so this is for the amendment to the resolution. We can do this by voice. Fantastic. All right. And so the amendment is to remove the words of self-styled Republican as you see there. All in favor of the amendment to the resolution signify by saying aye. All opposed say no. I think the noes have it, and so the amendment fails. We certainly can. So, all right, so I'm going to ask again. I would say all in favor of the amendment, stand. We'll have you stand and we'll count. All in favor of the amendment to remove of self-styled Republicans signify by standing at this time.
I'm standing.
16? Okay. All right. Oh, so, and so I'm not voting, okay? So I'm standing. Did y'all count me? You did count me?
No.
Okay, I was not counting. Okay, all right. And so all of those opposed to the amendment to scratch that line signify by standing, please. All right, so I think the noes have it. And so now we're back to the amendment on the table. So the resolution itself. The amendment failed. We're back to the resolution itself. Yes,
I know
sir.
we're pressed on time, but I think this is important. I just conferred with my friend Rolando here. Would the body be willing to say an unaffiliated Republican organization, blah, blah, blah? So we're saying they're unaffiliated, but I think with 95 days left, I want them working hard and not going back.
So that's a motion?
It's a motion
Okay.
to change the language to an unaffiliated Republican organization
Okay.
headquartered in Harris County, because we're calling them Republican, but they're unaffiliated, which is all accurate.
All right. So
That's my motion.
is there a second? No, he's changing the wording. So if I understand, the amendment is whereas right to win, comma, add an unaffiliated Republican organization. So do you want to, so Mr. Inman, do you want to substitute an unaffiliated Republican organization with self-styled Republicans? You want to substitute that, or you wanted to have it before? So you'll still be taking out self-styled, but you want to say an unaffiliated Republican organization in place of that, correct?
Of the RPT, an unaffiliated Republican organization from the RPT, headquartered in Harris County. Well, I'm just saying unaffiliated with what?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Point of order.
Yes.
You cannot, we've already left in the word self-styled. You can't take it out again.
Okay.
Well, I'm moving to strike. I'm moving to add this language and strike that.
You're still striking stuff that's already been agreed to. Yeah, can't do that. It's out of order.
Okay.
But I voted in favor. I voted in favor, though, so I can challenge it.
It's still out of order.
So yeah, so since we've already voted to leave that in, we have to leave that in at this point. So you want to add a Republican?
I can motion to reconsider. I voted for it. I was on the losing side or the winning side.
Well, then you have to make a new motion, right?
So the amendment is pulled, withdrawn. It's withdrawn. Okay. So we're back to the original resolution, and so we're going to vote on the original resolution. Resolution proclaiming that life wins elections. And so, is there any further discussion? Y'all are speaking on behalf of the resolution?
I'm going to get correction to Virgil. We still got a lot of language in that thing we just worked on that needs to be taken out if this is going to be the official version we're voting on. Go back up to where we just took all that self-styled stuff out or left it in. You're going to take that out, right? Okay, that's what I said. It's the point to Virgil, yeah.
Right. So there's some language cleanup here. So do we have any further discussion on the resolution as a whole? Yes.
On behalf of the resolution as a whole, okay.
Yeah, go back to the original language, just the original language. So we're just getting the wording correct on the original resolution.
Virgil.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the original resolution,
Okay.
and that's what we're going to be voting on now. And so we're going to, so back to the original resolution.
Itself.
So you want to discuss that?
Yes. The resolution is basically stating that principles win elections. So never in the history of the world has our society fallen so far from grace. We are facing serious opposition to our faith. Our culture is shrouded with darkness and confusion. There is no human solution to the confusion and rebellion in today's society. The core principles and preamble of our party is the answer, affirming our belief in God. Do we believe God's going to help us with anything that violates his law? Who would ever have thought we would be debating whether to deprioritize one of God's 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill, or removing pornography from schools, or mutilating children's genitals? The truth is, Texas has won every statewide election in 30 years. So why would the Republican Party want to adopt the Democrats' losing platform? So anybody that believes that abortion or life is preventing us from winning is living in an altered reality. And for those who say, I'm pro-life, but my response is, the cross of Christ demands a decision. Neutrality does not lead to triumph. To not deliberately choose is to make a choice. When the Pharisees leveled their accusations at Jesus, he spelled it out very simple. There is no neutral ground. If we are not on his side, we are his enemy. If we're not helping his work, we are actually harming his cause. Principles win elections.
Anyone speaking against the resolution as a whole? Against?
No, Mr. Chairman, Elaine Cook, SD 23. I voted on the winning side, and I'd like to, based on new conversation, I'd like to move to reconsider.
Make a move to. So what are we reconsidering? The amendment? Is there a second? Second. So the reconsideration is reconsider the amendment to, what are you wanting to do? You're wanting to add self-styled Republican again? We can't do that anymore. Reconsider that previous vote, okay? Okay, so there's a vote on the floor to reconsider the previous vote. And so all in favor of reconsideration signify by saying aye. All opposed say no. Certainly sounds like the noes have it. And so there will be no reconsideration. Yes, sir. Now we're back to the original amendment as a whole. I mean, not amendment, I'm sorry. Back to the original resolution as a whole.
I have a point of order. I'm Dan Tully, SD9.
Sure.
I believe the way to do the resolutions, you're supposed to perfect the resolves first, then you perfect the whereases, and then you then you vote on the connection of the two. We're doing this thing out of order. We shouldn't even be touching the whereases till we have the resolves resolved. So that's the more proper way of doing a resolution.
Well, right now, we're considering the full resolution, so we'll continue to do that, and your point may not matter. Is there any further discussion?
I call the question.
Yes. Not necessary. We're good. No one wants to. All right, so did you have something to say? You're good? Okay, all right. So now we're going to vote on the full resolution, resolution number 1. And so we have to do this by the clickers, right? All right. And so, so we're going to vote on the Life Wins elections. So you press 1A if you are in favor of the resolution. Press 2B if you are opposed to the resolution. Press 3C if you are abstaining. Sorry. That slipped. That was a slip. I apologize, Rachel. Sorry. And so then I'll pause and then I'll let y'all vote. So are we ready to vote? Clicker people? All righty.
No, I think you abstained. Yes.
Oh, no, I'm abstaining. So aim them towards the computer. Aim them towards Micah.
Like grabbing my sheet. Right. Go ahead and start. Start a roll call while we try to figure this out.
Just have the chair call the name out.
While we're
Start a roll call. All right, guys, we're going to start a roll call vote until we get this working right. And so everyone, hold tight.
All right, we're going to do a manual roll call while we work out the technical issues with the electronic system. So when you hear your name, please say yes, no, or abstain. Those are your yes, no, or abstain. Thank you very much. And I'll take you at the end, so I'll go through it. And Kristen Bentley, Paul Anthony Hale, Jerry Fisher, Bruce Bishop, Rhonda Ward, Daniel Hunt, Gwen Withrow, Dale Inman, Susan Lucas, Jeremy Story, Don McDonald, Scott Bowen, Deborah Feit, Ralph Feit, Maggie Witt, Barbara Isaacs, Jim Pickle, Ann Gebhardt, Dan Tully, Susan Valiant, Matt Tiskis, Galen Devine, Ken Moore, Lisa Hendrickson, Dave Wiley, Dr. Morris, Dale Gibble, Christiana Keeler, Greg Murphy, Brenda Estes, Rolando Garcia, Susan Fountain, Matt Patrick, Becky Green, Roman Klein, Cheryl Thompson Draper, Saki Joseph, Yvonne Klauser for Kelly Perry. Walter West, you're not in the room, right? Walter West is not here. Okay. Melissa Nur. I was going to say that means yes for those from Rio Linda if you gotta remember Rush. Chuck Burnett by Melissa Nur. Tony Trevino, Randy Perham, Leslie Thomas, John Carr, Elaine Cook, Ed Zenner, Mary Jane Avery, Andy Eller, Lucy Traynor, Michael Wheeler, Janera Lewis, Royce Albrecht, Jane Cancino, Steve Evans, Robin Cooper, Adolfo Tejas, Rachel Horton, and and Rachel Horton for Patrick Womhoff. Tisha Crow, Brandon Hodges, and Stephen, you may correct me if I'm not right, but since like normally you can see electronically what your vote is, and so ordinarily if people contest that, we don't allow that because you've had a chance to see the vote and see how it was recorded. But in this case, when I publish these within 10 days, if there's an error, what's the remedy for? Because they can't see what I recorded. I know, but just in general, like.
You will not make an error.
Okay. All right, give us a second to tally, but I think the result is clear. Oh, and Vice Chair Dorinda Randall. I totally forgot you. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely.
Members, this is a test vote. Run your clickers out real quick so we can make sure it's working. Just pick some no's, pick some yes, pick some abstentions.
All right. All right, looks like it's working now, probably. So, so guys, lunch is here right now. And so do you all want to go ahead and eat lunch now, or you want to plow through these resolutions? Lunch. I hear lunch. I hear lunch. I'm always in favor of lunch myself. So you want to pray for us for lunch? Pray for the food? Okay, we're gonna pray now. He's gonna pray from his seat.
Bless and direct us through the rest of the day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Do not take your clickers out of the room. Leave them at your desk. Do not take them out of your room.
62-0.
All right, 62-0-0 was the vote.
Yeah, and I would like to make one more statement, if I could, to thank Dr. Tom Oliverson, who is sponsoring our lunch.
All right, so the lunch is waiting for SREC members only in the hallway. So lunch is waiting for you in the hallway for SREC members only. Thank you very much.